Time is a charm. Black Business Monday. We are back. We are black. We are back. We are back. And thanks for joining. This is an interesting moment. I don't know what's going on, but we're talking about Carol's daughter. We're celebrating Carol's daughter. What business do you know sells their company to a major company and then buys it back? That is something that, ooh, it's amazing. And this, I love this for the edges. So once again, Black Business Monday is brought to you by Jer Candles, and we're waiting. Hello, everyone. You can hear me, right? Hello. All right. There we go. Lisa Price is coming on. So I just accepted her, and she should be in any moment. There we go. Lisa,
Hi.
hello. Thank
Hello.
you. Oh my gosh. First of all, let me do all hail to you. When I heard that you were buying back Carol's daughter, I said, wait a minute. What kind of bad sister is this? Who does that? You. You? I'm like, first of all, let me tell you, congratulations. I think it's one of the best moves because when my children were young, my oldest is 22 and my youngest is 17. And everyone was talking about, oh, you got to get that Carol's daughter. You got to get that Carol's daughter. And I'm like, why do I have to get the Carol's daughter? They said, oh my God, it's natural and it's good. And then I saw Jada Pinkett Smith in your first few ads. And I said, let me check this out. And it was the most amazing thing. And then you did what Black businesses want. You were bought by a major company.
hmm
You were mass produced in major places. And then you decided you got a large sum of money, I'm sure, for this company, and you decide to buy it back. Why are you buying back Carol's daughter, your baby? Why are you buying her back?
Well, the 10 years that I have spent at L'Oreal have been amazing for me, for the brand, for my family. We I've learned so much more about this
Hmm.
industry. And for some brands, I think the larger sort of machine of a big company can be a little bit limiting at times and not necessarily the best fit. So, the opportunity to return to independent roots, to be more nimble, I'm grateful that
Hmm.
the opportunity has presented itself and that it's something that, with the business partner that I have, that we're able to execute it and do it with L'Oreal's support.
Hmm.
So the transition will be smooth for the consumer. So there won't be a disruption to service, if you will. But it's not something that I actually envisioned. I did one of those things that I think is hard for us to do sometimes as Black women.
Hmm.
I took a mental health break at the beginning of 2024
Hmm.
and just turned everything work related off,
Hmm.
focused on me, focused on my health, focused on my family. And in shutting down things, it allows for clarity of thought, it
Yes.
allows for new ideas, it allows for reimagination. And I think that ultimately that's how we ended up here because I gave grace and space for
Mm.
different.
Peace be still. And that's a whole nother conversation by
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. But let's get into some of the things that people said that were happy for you. And let's talk truth about when you go into a whole nother space because you were making this. People were telling me there was something that you made with mango or something people loved. And I mean they were telling me how it was happening up in Harlem. And I was like, I got to get there. And by the time I wanted to get
Uh-huh.
there, it started being mass produced in stores. And it wasn't necessarily the same as it was. You were doing this by hand with people helping you doing this. And then when you mass produce, you don't necessarily have the mango like you made the mango.
Well,
So yeah.
I mean, the mass production is something that happened a while ago. The first time that I used a contract manufacturer was probably 2005, 2006. However, it was a process that was done with me working with a chemist, So I shared my recipe with the chemist, and the chemist turned my recipe into something another chemist could understand, a formula. So
Mm,
not made by hand, but still made with care and with my supervision. And when we came into L'Oreal, there's a process that you go through in L'Oreal so that your formula becomes something that is global,
right.
and meets standards across different countries. Even if you're only sold in the US, you have to meet these certain standards.
Hmm.
And I was a part of that process. I've been at L'Oreal for 10 years. I
Hmm.
never walked away from my formulations. So consumers have a perception that everything is different from how it used to be. What's different is I don't have as much as I used to have. Some of my body care products, like Mango Body Butter and the Cocoa Mango Lotion, those things have been gone for a long time. And, I pray that
Are they
I'll get to
coming
bring them
back?
back. I
Are they
want to
coming
do
back?
that. I just need time. I got to settle. I got to settle into this new
Yeah.
thing, but I do want to bring back, some of the fan favorites. I've been getting messages about them since the announcement was made last Monday. I have a list of items to bring back. But the production of everything and the formulations have still been something that falls under my purview,
Yeah.
even within L'Oreal.
So people are saying they love how they stay true. You stay true to you. Somebody else said, my husband and I are making our own products since 2003 and have been scared to mass produce.
Mm.
So yeah, talk to us about that because as a business, that is a concern because like you said, the formulations change a bit. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
me about that for people in the Black community who want to be you, who desperately want to be you. Talk to me about that.
I think what you have to start with, what does mass produce mean to you? So the first time that I used contract manufacturers, that meant that my minimums went from what we could cook in our warehouse kitchen by hand to a facility that was producing 5,000 pieces, an order of 5,000 pieces.
Wait a minute, going
What
from
Matt,
cooking in your kitchen by
right,
hand
right.
versus producing five. Did you hear that? So that's a whole different
So
scale
that
of things.
that's
Yeah.
one level, but
Yeah.
now we're at a place where you might be putting in an order for 25,000 pieces or 50,000 pieces. So um but once you scale something, so once you take something from a kitchen stove to a
Hmm.
lab, scaling it
Hmm.
further is not
Hmm.
that difficult. But
Hmm.
what you want to have control over, if you will, is the quality of it and where everything is coming from. Because what happens when you get
Hmm.
bigger, because I
Hmm.
used to be afraid of the same thing. I was afraid to give my recipes to someone. But once you
Hmm.
get bigger, you
Hmm.
have to be able to track every aspect of your
Hmm.
order. Because if someone has an issue with something, you need to be able to go back to the number written on the jar, know
Hmm.
that the jar was produced on a certain date, the date that it was produced, in what facility. Then you go to the facility, who produced it, who measured it, who stirred it, who poured it, who labeled,
So in
like all of that is
case there's a
tracked.
problem, you can track it right back.
Right. Which is
Wow.
very hard to do when you're independently making
Yeah.
it. You might not know exactly who measured the beeswax and who stirred it, but if the risk is not high, then you can keep making it smaller.
Wow.
So the decision on when to scale is determined by the company. How much do they need to produce? How much can they store? How much are they selling? So you don't have to be afraid of it. You just have to research it and see what it looks like. And I did visit the facilities before we signed contracts with them. And like I said, I worked with a chemist, and the chemist watched me make what I made, because it's not just the recipe, it's also the process. And he could translate what I did so that a scientist could understand, oh, this is what she's doing.
You know, to me, this is like that Oprah move, owning your own. No, seriously, owning your own. She started out, on TV, but then after Color Purple, she found a way to own her
Mm-hmm,
own. And look at where she
mm-hmm,
is now. You started out in your
mm-hmm,
kitchen in Harlem. You sold, and now you're owning your own again. Do you believe you're going to take yourself to another level and back to your roots as well, more so?
Definitely back to my roots. I, there are times when my journey has taken me to places that I hadn't even envisioned. And this is one of those times. And I have been wondering ever since we announced last week, Monday, if
Yeah.
I am on this path because there's somebody else that wants to do
Right.
this. And I'm not saying that I have to do it first. Like, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
oh, I have to be the trendsetter. But I think when you see something
Yeah.
that you didn't think of, it
Yeah.
allows for you to have a different thought. So maybe someone will be less afraid of selling if they have the thought process, well, it doesn't have to be forever. I could change my mind because that person did it. Um, I, I wonder if that is part of the reason why I'm in this place, because there's a lot of things that I've done as the founder of Carol's Daughter that hadn't been done before, that I did without a blueprint, good or bad. Sometimes it
Yeah.
worked out great, sometimes it didn't.
Mhm.
But I've learned so much. And when this opportunity, came about, I knew that I couldn't live with would have, could have, should have. I was like, nah, I got to try this because this could be lit, you know.
It is. I
and
mean,
and
how
it's
many
very
people?
exciting.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but I've never heard of it. Once you get that conglomerate success, who buys their product back? You. You brought your. I mean, that is success by itself. To be able to say, okay, I want my baby back. But will L'Oreal keep any of your babies, or are you bringing it all home?
Well, I mean, it's just, I'll put it this way. I walked in with them. I so
I walked in, I'm gonna walk out with them. Wow. I mean, how long did it take for this process to be able to buy it back? How from the beginning to the end, how long did it take?
probably about 6 months, roughly. Yeah. And then
Mm,
there's another transition period that happens after, so we're in that process now. So there'll probably be another 6 to 9 months as we transition out and become completely independent. Because again,
wow.
you don't want to disrupt the business with your customers and consumers.
So there's a phase out period now. So you're buying it back, but there's a phase out period. So we still, hello, Monroe Flame. I see you. I know you use Carol's daughter, Monroe Flame. So comedian Monroe Flame, a dear friend of mine who taught me how to pop Papa fan is on here. So yeah, but so we could possibly still see this on some store shelves, but know that this is in the phase out product process because you're bringing it home, like you said.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Wow. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Because I don't want to keep you. And I know, thank you for being so gracious today with time. Everything has just been crazy today from the beginning to the end.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to celebrate you when everybody was calling. When Joteka Edie went with Black women, you can't, when Joteka says, April, yes, Joteka, what do you need? She said, I've
So
got some
true.
exciting news. Yeah, I've got some exciting. I said, what? And as soon as she said that, I wanted to stay in the moment. I wanted to keep you. We had somebody already, Dorian Webb, but I wanted to keep you because this is huge. This is a huge, bold move. It's. I'm not saying it's unheard of, but it's a big deal. And for you to be able to, go back and do this is amazing. Someone asked, "Hello, Amir Horton. He's a timepiece, black timepiece maker." Someone just asked, "Are you going back to the original logo, Daisy?"
Oh, well, possibly, yes. It still exists in certain places, but
Mhm.
it's more low key. And one of the reasons, and we transitioned from that a while ago, it was a doodle that I used to do by hand when I
Wow.
wrote the labels by hand. And there was a study that we did before L'Oreal when I was still independent, where when the daisy was made larger, it looked sort of childlike. It wasn't something that transitioned well from small to large. So
Oh.
sometimes on like a step and repeat, it was given the wrong vibe. but on a label, it worked. So for a while, it's been on the lids of our jars. So it's something that's still a part of the brand. It'll just be used where it's appropriate, where it looks appropriate.
So basically, Carol has matured. Well, Carol's daughter has matured a little bit, starting with the Doodle Daisy now to kind of she's more of an adult now, right? She's gone through a
Yeah,
lot.
she
She's she's
has.
she's gone through a lot, but she's coming home. She
Yes.
says, "Okay, I've been out. I went to college. I moved out. Now I'm coming back home." Something like that, right?
Exactly. That is exactly how I look at it, from the time that I founded her. She's 32 years old
Oh,
now,
she's not a
and
little girl. She's
she's
grown.
grown,
She's grown.
but she still needs her mama from time to time. And I feel like I've gone to school because I have so much more knowledge now than I did 10 years ago when I came into L'Oreal. So there are things that don't even frighten me anymore
Mm,
because I know what to do, and then I'm very clear on when I get off of the roller coaster and I watch it.
mm,
There are times
mm.
when you have to ride the roller coaster, but there's times when you can get off and be like, y'all have a good time, I'll be right
I'm not mad at you. Someone just asked, please bring back the
here.
ecstasy set. Is that coming back?
That scent could potentially come back, but it will not have the same name because when I named it that, the drug did not exist.
Ooh. Oh, makes
So
sense.
yeah, that's kind of why it faded away because it became a problem in the world. Because at the time I named it, that was not a thing. It
That
was
makes
not a thing.
sense.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
says, someone says, I still have your original pamphlet with Jada Pinkett in it. You have fans here. I'm telling you, I'm
Thank
down the
you.
road in Baltimore. People are like, oh my God, Carol's daughter in Harlem, Carol's daughter. And I was like, well, let me find, I mean, because I kept hearing so much about it. And this is when you were really, for me, the beginning of that organic home
Hmm.
based, real, non synthetic kind of thing. And I was so interested because all the parents, well, I felt like I was such a bad parent because I was looking for stuff to make. I said, my child's hair doesn't have a luster. They said, you need to try Carol's doing. I'm like, Carol, who? And I started seeing, Jada and hearing more about it. You, for me, are that first person that really started that.
Hmm.
And you got us in the kitchen thinking like, wait a minute, we might not need to do this way. We might need to think about more wholesome things that really help us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it's so interesting because I didn't start it with the intention of people not relaxing or only using natural. I just wanted people to have different options and be able to make their lives a little bit easier. And, did you know that you could have shampoo without detergents? And, what if you had hair oils that had essential oils in them? And have you ever used shea butter? Back in the
yeah.
early 90s, a lot of people didn't even know what shea butter was.
They
They
sure
didn't they
didn't.
didn't know what I was talking about. So it's been so great to be a part of this process and watching all of us become converted. And it's hard sometimes to be one of the first to do something because nobody
Yes.
knows what you're talking
Yeah.
about. But I'm grateful for the journey because I've just learned so much, and I appreciate the loyalty and the love
Mhm.
and everybody being excited. And
Mhm.
I can't wait to bring back mango body butter. I still make it because I won't live without it.
Well, I
Um,
want some. I
but
need
I'm
some.
looking
Yes.
forward to that. I make things and I give them away at Christmas, and I call it Lisa's Kitchen because it just
Okay,
comes from
put
my
me on your
kitchen.
list. Put me on your
So
list.
you
Yes.
will get a care package from
Oh,
me. The
thank
face
you.
butter, the scar butter, the mango body butter. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
mad at. So everyone, the big announcement with Lisa Price. The big announcement is that her baby, her 32-year-old baby, has gone away. She sold her, but she bought her back from L'Oreal, and she's in the transition process. She's going to have it all very soon. She says it's going to take about a couple months, 6 months, right?
Hmm.
So take a minute. But Carol's daughter is coming home. She left home, went to college, said, I'm gonna go to big America and see what's out there. But Mama brought her back home, and you've got a lot of fans here. And someone said, I'm a hairstylist for 30 years, and she inspired me to create my brand over 20 years ago. Thank you
Wow.
for, again, just being true to you. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Oh, that's so beautiful.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't want to hold you, but
Okay.
I thank you, Lisa Price. But I'm gonna look for my mango butter kit.
Okay.
But in the meantime, let me tell you, I'm all excited about the edge control, the shine. I'm excited about Carol's daughter's edge control, and of course, that black vanilla. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, black
Yes.
vanilla is the standard. And you know what? What I loved about it, it didn't have the, what is it, paraffins and all that other stuff in it.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
the stuff that was bad for the scalp, and I love that. And then also the shine. The shine. You cannot be a black woman without the shine. You have to have the shine. And then we have our goddess strength, divine strength leave-in conditioner. We like a good leave-in.
Mhm.
And then, especially when we're going to the pool, it's summertime. Somebody said black vanilla scent is legendary. And here we go. And then we also have, oh, we have the same thing. We got a couple of them. But Lisa, thank you. Anything else you want
Thank
to say
you.
before we
I
end this
just
Black
saw
Business Monday?
Jaded Tresses flash by, and I just wanted to say hello to her. She's an amazing stylist, and she makes her own products as well. I believe she's referred to as the Curl Whisperer, if I'm remembering
Where is she?
correctly.
Where is she?
She
Jada's Tresses.
she
Where are
used to
you?
be based in Brooklyn, but I don't know if she's moved
Where are
because so
you?
many
Type
people
in
move.
fast. Type in fast. Where are you? Where are you now? Okay, let's see if she. Well, I just want to shout you out and say thank you,
Thank
and thank you for
you.
joining because this is amazing. This is there she is. She said thank you, but where are you, Jada Tresses? She said thank you, but where are you? Where can people find you? Lisa.
She's one of those people that, her hands
In
are growing hands,
NYC.
and
Okay.
she has a technique and a process. And sometimes you can't duplicate things in multiple people, so she's one of those people that you have to make appointments with her, and you have to be patient and wait for her schedule to open up if you want her hands on your head.
She's
And
34th Street, New York City,
she
NYC.
she's amazing. She is amazing. So anybody in the area that needs a curl whisperer, you want Jada Tresses in your head. She's remarkable. So thank you, sis. I'm so proud of you, and great to see you here. I don't know if you know, but I do follow you and have for a while, and you're amazing.
Well, Well, back at you. I'm telling you, if my children knew I was on, because right now they're in school and doing everything, but if they knew I was talking to, they're like, the owner of Carol's daughter, oh my, you used to wash my hair with, I said, yes, I did. But they're grown now. So, and Flame Monroe said, thank you for teaching. Yes, Lisa, I
Oh,
appreciate you. I
thank
think you
you.
are the bomb.com and I cannot wait. And Jada just said, you're an inspiration. You are. I mean,
Thank you.
think about what you are leaving in other Black people who want to start businesses or who just need that little bit to push them over the edge. I can get back what I used to have.
Mhm.
I can get
Mhm.
back what I used to have or get more. So thank you.
Thank
That's what I'm saying.
you.
More.
Yes. Yes.
This is the time for more. And look, a lot of people are going to be using this in home. We're not going to be, unfortunately, we're not going to be going to the hairdresser a lot because we hitting, Trump said, well, we might be going into a recession. If we are, it's going to be a lot of home washing.
Mhm. Well, we know how to do that.
And we've
So
been
we'll be
doing
all right.
it since
Mhm.
Madam C.J. Walker and beyond.
Right.
So that's right. Lisa, be well.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Guys, it's Carol's daughter. She's coming home. 32 years. She's going back home. Mama's got her. Bought her back from L'Oreal. Amazing
Thank
story. Lisa, be well.
you.
Guys, thank you for joining part two of Black Business Monday, sponsored by Jer Candles. Lisa Price, the one and only. I'm just so honored to have her on. That a black woman in 2025 is doing big things, saying, okay, I put it in a conglomerate, but now I'm taking her back home. I can afford to bring her back home. Look at that lesson. Look at God.
Mhm.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Lisa. Be well.
Thanks,
See you.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.